becoming a country of survivors with chronic heart failure and cancer therapies being at the vanguard, but there are many others that are coming. But one area that's really hurting us a lot is the opioid addiction that I spoke to earlier. I'm gonna ask John Maguire to help us with this a little bit. 1 in 3 American families is influenced by this now. And I'd love, as an expert, John, if you could share with the audience some of your insights about how that rapid movement towards street drugs is occurring and what we can do about it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rouse, for having me address this issue. It is a crisis in our society. And the issue is prescription of those opiates. You know, when a person gets those opiates, they are supposed to be on it for a short period of time, but unfortunately that dependence that they build on, not only is it physical at some point, but then becomes psychological. And that psychological and physical dependence is very difficult for them to break. It's not just addressing the addiction. I mean, that's abstaining from the substance to me is not recovery. What you have to do is look at life. It is finding a balance in life. And I know when folks come to Futures, we address it as such. What we see when that addiction, we see the top of the iceberg. We start looking at what's underneath that iceberg. Is it depression? Is it anger? Is it anxiety, self-esteem, some trauma that they've experienced before, that they've turned to the substances to actually comfort themselves? But so we turn around and look at that and say, okay, how do we address life? We're looking for that balance in life. And one of the approaches we utilize at Futures is dialectical behavioral therapy, better known as DBT. And I think the biggest component within DBT is mindfulness. It is being able to utilize and be aware of what they call the wise mind. It is realizing that you have emotions, but you also have some rational thinking too. And it's being able to stay in the moment. One of the things I see most often in treatment is that people, I call them time travelers. They're looking in their past, they've seen what they've gone through, and they have a lot of guilt and shame about it, but they're also very anxious about the future, what's going to be next. So they're not living in the present. And what happens when we utilize mindfulness, it's being aware of living right here at this moment in time. And it's very difficult for some folks to comprehend that.
Beautifully described. You guys have been absolutely wonderful.